What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something many of you know I've been talking about on a serious level for about 2 to 3 years now, regarding energy shortages and blackouts. The reason I'm bringing this up again is because I've been noticing several breadcrumbs consistently spread out in mainstream media regarding this issue. Now, I say breadcrumbs because the media is very elusive and nothing is ever blunt. Nothing is ever told to you when you need to hear it, but it's always dropped in subtle hints over a period of time. We can call this predictive programming, neuro-linguistic programming, whatever you want to call it. The main point being that it is very important to let you guys know this issue is still relevant, even more so than before. And we all know I'm about as subtle as a train accident, so giving you the blunt straight truth is always what we go for over on this channel. Speaking of blunt truth, that is extremely risky on YouTube. So if you guys can give me a follow on Gab or support me on Patreon or any of the other social media links listed below, I would greatly appreciate it. So briefly, I want to mention a few things. An energy crisis, blackouts, or things along that nature are something many people don't prepare for. And I have a list of books to prep, because you won't be able to Google things or figure things out when we have no way of communicating, no energy to supply our electricity, blackouts, etc. And having books that help you and show you what and how to do things in particular situations is essential. And I believe it's something that's very undermined and not really thought about and not prepared for. So I have that video listed below if you guys want to check that out and buy some of the books that I recommend for prepping specifically. I also have an entire playlist on prepping and another one entitled The Great Reset, which are playlists that have been very thorough, in-depth look at how our world is changing and how everything is falling into place piece by piece to create this perfect storm. Now, I want you guys to all think back really quick to Texas when they had that no heat, no electricity. People were sleeping in their cars and using their car heaters for heating and all types of things. And they were so caught off guard, and I did put out a video on this that is no longer up. We don't want our family to be in those positions, so I'm trying to bring this to everyone's attention to prepare and to view these breadcrumbs more as entire loaves of bread. This is not something small and is meant to be taken seriously. So many fossil fuel power plants are being retired quicker than they can be replaced by renewable energy and battery storage. And this just leads us to essentially an intentional, very intentional recipe for disaster. And the entire objective we are seeing, which goes back to my zero carbon emissions agenda video. Again, that video I believe was also taken down. It is on BitChute and I believe Patreon, and I honestly can't even keep up with the social network names and how greatly the whole zero carbon emission agenda has been affecting everyone and every system that is enacted on the planet today. Just to simply have more control on the Goyim rather than save our planet. But the entire objective is to retire these power plants as fast as they can, which are fueled by natural gas, coal, and diesel, to green forms of energy such as solar power and wind. And there's a massive problem there if there is no sun or no wind during certain periods and seasons, because we are also facing extreme weather, which I have discussed due to the fact that we are currently in a grand solar minimum. We have not been in a grand solar minimum for years and years and years and years, and they bring out extreme weather changes and conditions. And I've discussed this again thoroughly on my channel. However, the video again was taken down. And even NASA, in one of my videos, NASA tried to deny the undeniable fact that we are in a solar minimum, and they put out an article on it, I think in 2015, and I have the article archived, and they are changing their articles now to align with the narrative of climate change to further enact their zero carbon emission of control. And I just want to make it clear for those who are listening to ill-informed YouTubers that nuclear energy is not a high-emitting CO2 form of energy. That is a giant lie, and it's being repeated constantly in this giant game of social media telephone. And essentially, the real problem, the main disadvantage, is the disposal of uranium. That could take thousands of years to break down, but all the uranium in the world would still be an extremely small quantity. Very, 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 very small. I'm talking about maybe the size to fit in one entire house. Many people are lying about uranium. That is about its efficiency and that it emits high levels of CO2, and that's just not it. And there are so many articles getting released now, more and more than we've ever seen, which is why I'm bringing this video up again. They're putting out these articles, California especially, and they think that this energy shortage, we're seeing shortage of everything, is going to last for years and years and years. And it's just such a coincidence, and it doesn't make sense that we see what's going on, but yet we are still shutting down these power plants. We are still trying to go green, even though green is not the most reliable thing, and it's not about being green. Green is just a cover-up story for control, and that's what we all need to realize here. A lot of these things we've been doing for years and years and years and years, and of course there are downsides to everything, but this all has to do with control, and it's just causing more problems than it is bringing solutions, and it cannot meet the demand that it needs to meet, as well as the fact that energy costs for the average home in America have been skyrocketing. People have to, over the winter, we know that people have had to decide to eat less in order to pay for heat, or one or the other. They had to balance this, okay? Energy is going up tremendously, and we are seeing constant breadcrumbs about how we could be facing many blackouts during the summer, during peak hours. We can see that all in the articles here. So again, take a look at the 2 other videos that I did. I wanted to just keep in mind and keep this in the back of your head that this is something to pay attention to. I would recommend having some extra tanks of gas, generators, and those books that I mentioned to prep. Also some candles. I have a prepper video. I have a whole prepper playlist, and I plan to update that playlist as well, that I moved to the country and I learned a few other things that would be helpful. So with that being said, I hope you guys find this video useful. We are facing extreme weather, both summer and winter, because of this grand solar minimum. And if you don't know too much about it, I would start researching a little bit. If you guys would like me to do a thorough video on what exactly that means for us, leave a comment down below and let me know. And I will see you guys in my next upcoming video. Thank you so much for watching.